Hey everybody, happy holidays, happy Christmas. Today and tomorrow I'm going to share with you a couple of important tips that I think may be helpful in getting together with your family. So if you're really looking forward to that and you know it's going to be amazing and there's no risk of anything, you probably don't need to watch the rest of this. If you sometimes notice some discomfort comes up with your family, then I might have a few things to help out with. So, I'm going to do this in two parts. Today I want to talk about purposeful communication. And it sounds like obvious when we talk about purposeful communication. Yes, of course. But I've noticed when I share this and give my clients possibilities to practice this, it's actually quite revolutionary for most people. So let me illustrate this for a moment. I live here with my beloved wife, Shamali, with whom everything is great. And I've got two adult kids who come home from time to time, also great. My ex-wife, we celebrate Christmas together, that's great. We also have two cats, and we've also got about 50,000 bees who live with us. They actually live in their own little quarters over there called beehives, but they live over there. And it's necessary. So sometimes I'm here and they're there and we're all doing our own thing, but sometimes it's necessary that we interact, which is actually a form of, you could say, relating or communicating. So I put on my beekeeper's outfit and, with the mesh screen, and I go over there and I go with a little smoke device that makes smoke. And the purpose of this is if I want to be able to open up the beehive and take the frames out to see how everyone's doing, make sure the queen's okay, make sure they don't have mites or something. If I want to go and communicate with the bees, I'm going to use this little smoke device just to inject a little bit of smoke into the hive. And if I inject too much smoke, if I inject a lot, they're going to go crazy. They think, oh, this is a major forest fire, and there's the possibility they may swarm. If I don't inject any smoke at all, they're likely to get angry about me opening the hive and possibly swarm around me. But if I inject just a little bit, just a few taps of the smoke, just the right amount, which is done purposefully, it's a question of opening the hive and with careful intention, putting just the right amount of smoke, it gives them the feeling a forest fire might be somewhere around. It's a little bit of smoke, and they're going to actually go down into the hive and start eating honey to prepare in case it gets stronger. That gives me the opportunity to look at the frames. Now, this is an example of purposeful communication. I'm not just doing whatever I feel like. I'm not just going, oh, well, I've got smoke. I'm just going to give you all the smoke now. And I'm also not going to the hive and going, I'm not going to give you any smoke. I'm going to withhold the smoke. You don't get any. I'm giving them just a little bit of smoke to create the outcome that we're looking for. And this actually applies to all kinds of communication with your partner, with your parents, your brothers and sisters. We can actually create fantastic relationships through purposeful communication. Now, how does the smoke correspond to relating with your family? Oftentimes when people have personal relationships, they want to be, on the one hand, they want to be authentic and honest and say what they're feeling and get it all out on the table. And on the other hand, we realize, well, I better not say that because it's going to create trouble. So it creates this polarity between withholding, no smoke. I'm not going to tell you anything about what I'm feeling. I'm not going to say anything about my life because I remember what happened last time. I'm going to keep my political and environmental opinions to myself. Thank you very much. Or, well, actually, after a couple of glasses of wine, bleh, this is what I believe, which creates a lot of conflict. In the middle, which probably relies upon a little less alcohol, in the middle is purposeful communication, which means when you're with your family, actually seeking out places of common ground, realizing what is the communication that could be purposefully and intentionally placed into the space, which is honest to the point of being vulnerable and showing something about yourself, but not overly honest to the point of creating conflict. And this requires actually a little kind of discipline to really ask yourself before you enter into any social interaction, before you walk into the room, What do I want to create here? Like art. This may sound like manipulation, and perhaps in a certain way it is. But is there anything wrong with consciously, deliberately bringing some art, some manipulation of the energy to create love and connection and understanding between people? So it means stepping into an environment with the idea already in your mind, what do I want to create here? How do I want Aunt Jemima to feel after I have spoken to her? How do I want my mother or my father to feel after I have shared with them the bits of my life that I feel will be a good entry point for us to come closer? So to really have a clear idea in your mind, how do you want this person or these people to feel after I have opened my mouth? What is the result I want to create? And how do I want us all to feel at the end of the day? And then to be able, just like me with my smoke, to be able to drop deliberately little nuggets of, little injectables of communication into the space that is deliberately and clearly aligned with the outcome you want to create. If you do that this Christmas, I'd love to hear back from you, and I anticipate that you will indeed have a very Merry Christmas and a happier New Year. Sending you much love, everybody. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being one of the people that regularly gives me the time of day to listen to my cyber ramblings. And I look forward to spending more time with you next year.